Well, and those are some of the stories. Now, let's get talking now. Mr. Charles Fakroha, a senior business analyst with iBrandTV, joins us to look at this now. Thank you for coming on the program. Good morning to you.
Good morning. Thank you, Frank, for having me.
Yeah, it's good to be here again.
Yes.
Now, I mean, some of these stories I know you've gone through, but where would you like to start from? Of course, the issue of petrol scarcity is beginning to, stay in our face.
Yes.
With this ugly report again, and the concern is that it could hit as high as 200 naira per litre if care is not taken.
Well, I had always been an advocate that, of course, you can't sell PMS uniformly around the country because, of course, these are businessmen, But what we are trying to tell the government is, please, let this product be available. As we speak, there are some places where it is even gotten for more than 200 naira per litre. So instead of allowing us to go through all these suffering in terms of scarcity of this product, let it be available. We've been told that they will remove subsidy maybe by next year. It's obvious that this can no longer stand. Fuel will be sold at different prices in different parts of the country. It makes business sense. It's as simple as that.
Now the question is, who should wade in this situation now?
Okay.
Is it the NNPC or is it the Nigerian Petroleum Regulatory Authority or Commission? That's NEUPRC. We have all of these agencies now since the unbundling of
NNPC.
Yes, of the NNPC. So you have various agencies who are undertaking exactly. So who is supposed to be, concerned, or who is supposed to wade in to address these
scarcity issues? Yes, I think the NNPC Limited, if that's the new name now, and of course the former DPRO, which is what we have just called the
Nigerian
Petroleum
Regulatory Authority.
Whether it is downstream, it's downstream now.
Yes,
it's downstream. Midstream and downstream.
Yes.
Okay, I think for me, those are the two agencies responsible for it, and we should hold them accountable for it. NNPC, if you are telling us you are now going to be run as a private entity, we need to see that in terms of your performance. Availability of this product is key.
The reason why there was some bundling in the first place, so as to ensure that there's a clear, demarcation of boundaries,
which agency to do what,
and all of that. But do you think that since the unbundling, have we seen that impact in the sector so far?
Well, the PIA was suspended.
That's right.
In terms of implementation. So for now, we can't say this is what NNPC Limited will do. Of course, they are also implementing part of their own PIA. Then, of course, the midstream and downstream Petroleum Regulatory Agency. So for now, we'll still go back to the old ways. That is DPRO and NNPC. What we want them to do is make this product available to the average Nigerians. Yesterday, we were trying to get some fuel and we drove around. In fact, a particular filling station told us, we are waiting for our supplies, or we have not seen. And there were a lot of queues there. Why allow Nigerians to go through this kind of situation? For me, I think we have gone beyond that.
We should have gone beyond this. We should have, because let's move to this. Because one of these again is the concern. Now that you tied it's here,
it's coming. Exactly.
The Christmas is around the corner.
Exactly.
So the panic buying again makes certain that again we hope that something will be done about this.
But I said we will hold NNPC and the midstream and downstream
regulatory commission,
yes,
responsible.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, all right. Let's look at the next one now. This, of course, is coming from the Nigeria Employers Consultative Association, NECA, worried over taxes and, of course, the fact that these businesses, how they can start surviving is a challenge.
Yes.
The fact that the economy today is not it's bedeviled with a lot of challenges.
Yes, ease of doing business is a challenge.
Ease of doing business is theirs. Again, then you talk about multiple taxation. That's their worry here. How do we place this conversation? At whose door should this conversation start?
Yes, it's well, I see the federal government being in a kind of dilemma. You want to raise revenue from non-oil sector.
Right.
But that does not mean you're going to choke the businesses to death because you want to collect different taxes. I think there should be a balancing. We have the tax experts, we have the government people look at this and see that, yes, these businesses that are even employing people, if you choke them with with multiple taxes, how are they going to survive? And that's the concern of NECA, because it is their members. So the government should look at it. What is the average tax that is required for these business entities should pay? And let it be that.
And again, the concern they also raise is the fact that not only the impact that those who have on these businesses,
yes,
again, that these businesses may want to pass this price
very key,
or to the consumer,
course,
to the final consumer.
Yes.
And that, so if you're buying a particular product for 150, that means that you should be ready to buy it at the rate of 200 naira.
Exactly. And that will further do what disposable income of the average Nigerian will not be anything to go by.
So this is kind of interwoven. It's trickle
exactly,
down to
exactly,
the lifestyle of average Nigerian.
Of course, quality of living standard will go down. But they were also talking about taxing some of the drinks, wine, spirit, and of course non-alcoholic beverages. And it will force most of these consumers to now begin to look at those ones that are not taxed properly, you know, and illegal importation. So for me, that's not even the concern. What is the concern is let our borders be well protected so that we don't allow product to come into the country without passing through the necessary scrutiny. Yes, for the taxes, these companies just need to survive first of all.
Because that's another concern.
Yes.
Because if you tax them, they'll find a way to cut costs.
Exactly.
And then maybe they start importing some of these products in, and then the economy is flooded.
Exactly.
But let's look at this next story, which has to do with federal government appointing, you know, the telcos, banks, and the deposit money banks to start collecting VAT. What's the position?
I've never been collecting it before. They've been collecting, you know, but of course,
maybe this is coming officially now that yes, the telecommunications operators should start collecting this VAT, and by way of deducting it, you know, if you are buying data, it will be deducted from there. Calls, it will be deducted from there.
Exactly.
So it goes straight again. So maybe the pattern or the approach of collection now will change with this, the fact that the telecommunication operators are now coming into the picture.
Yes, I think it is a wise decision. It's good, you know, so that you have done this, you've bought your data, you made your call. Of course, the man who provides that service for you, it takes that VAT, you know, and remit to government. There's nothing wrong with that. However, I'm seeing a situation where it can be improved upon. There could be a kind of a software on an app, you know, that's what's been done in the capital market now. Once you buy or sell your shares, what comes to the trader is his commission. Other statutory charges that you are paid directly goes to each of those agencies. So I believe that with time, the tax authority can work on that. So as soon as you, or let's say you are a supplier to any of these telecom companies, not necessarily that you are making call, maybe you supply them what they are using, and of course VAT will be charged. So once you are paying, automatically the VAT element is also included. So once you pay the telcos, their own consideration goes to them, while the VAT component goes directly to the tax authority. So you are not having a situation where the telecom companies are withholding the VAT and further now remitting, because it's not going to be automatic.
That's right.
And we have seen instances where, just like what some of the banks are also doing, you collect custom revenue, you don't remit as and when due, you keep it for some time, and of course, that is affecting government projection. So moving forward, I want a situation where, yes, they collect, but let there be a kind of app that immediately you take your own, then of course, what is due to the tax authorities goes immediately to them. Yes.
Let's move to the next story, which has to do with gas flaring again. Nigeria loses about $600 million yearly. This is coming from stakeholders. Part of the stakeholders include Advocacy for Gas Flare Accountability in Nigeria. That's AGFAN. You have USAID there, that is United States Agency for International Development. And then you have other partners or stakeholders in this. Again, we talked about the how can Nigeria maximize the gas flaring to become a money generating business? But here we are losing a lot without even talking about how to maximize this.
Yes, looking at that figure, $600 million yearly, that is what we're even losing. Then looking at the degradation of the environment, pollution, and I'm wondering, what is the issue? Is it that we are such a careless country, or we are so ignorant that we don't have the technology for this gas, like you have said, to be made use optimally? There are technologies around now, and we are talking of gas to power some of our electricity and all that. Right. We are talking of that, and we cannot even generate what we are supposed. Meanwhile, we have the abundant natural gas, and we are just flaring it, causing degradation to our environment, pollution, especially the area where I come from, Niger Delta. We are seeing that kind of thing. But Frank, I just want to let you know something. This gas flaring, we have been talking about it more than 30 years ago. I remember as a biochemistry student those days in the late 80s and early 90s. We studied it very well, pollution. And where I was schooling, we could see some of these things. And we were saying, okay, that is what is causing a lot of pollution and all that, that people are trying to develop technology that will take you. But up till today, more than 30 years after, we are still in the same situation, which tells us that I don't think those who are in charge of this petroleum ministry, is it that we cannot get experts to come and say, this is, again, let me don't forget, we also have to hold the IOCs responsible. They don't only operate in Nigeria. They operate in other parts of the world. Do they still flare these gases in other climes where they operate? If they don't flare, so why is it that
again you need to
also, in Nigeria here?
You need to also bring the government into the picture, because if that was not acceptable anywhere or in any other time,
so why are we accepting
why do we have to accept it? So maybe the government has to come into the picture, and then we'll start interrogating and saying what exactly is going on.
Yes,
we talked about meeting, the zero target emission,
carbon emission exactly by
2060. I mean, how fixable is this? I mean, this is 2022. Yes, we can say it's far away from now, but again, we need to
have an action plan.
Exactly.
A transition to see how we begin to achieve some of these things. Why I'm blaming the IOCs is your standards should be international. Good corporate governance. It is not because when you come to a particular country, you exploit them. That does not show that that company is a sustainable company. If you operate in Climb X, and those things are your basic ethical principles, it should be worldwide, not only in certain areas. That's why I'm blaming the IOCs. But on the part of government, yes, they say they will charge them for flaring. And some of them have told us if you calculate business-wise, it's even easier for them to flare. So they decide they'll be happy to pay the charges for that flaring.
I know you want to hold the IOC responsible. I want to hold the NUPRC responsible for not doing a job as well, because they are as a regulatory authority,
I agree with you.
Agency or council or part of this,
to ensure that this person operates in most environmental friendly matter.
Continue in the coming days. Thank you so much, Charles Fakroha, iBrand senior business analyst. Thank you for your time on the program.
It's always a pleasure. Thank you for having me. Your tie is nice.
Thank you so much. And you look great. So have a great day.
I will see you
later. All right, you're still watching Business Breakfast, coming to you live from our studio. Still to come after now. NGS reopens fiscal trading after 32 months of trading remotely. As stock market closes flat on Monday amidst bulls, MBS fight for dominance. Let's take a break and I'll be back in a moment. Please stay with us.